Rapid Rail Sdn Bhd was established to place all three rail operators for Sistem Transit Aliran Ringan Sdn Bhd previously operate and currently known as Ampang Line, Projek Usahasama Transit Ringan Automatik Sdn Bhd for Kelana Jaya Line and KL Starrail Sdn Bhd on KL Monorail, under one administrating umbrella. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, the Rapid Rail network contains two light metro lines comprising the Ampang and Kelana Jaya lines, with the KL Monorail line being the other major component of the network. These rapid transit systems were run under the brand name of Rapid KL, along with the KTM Komuter lines, owned and operated by Keretapi Tanah Melayu Berhad, and the Express Rail Link Airport lines. This system constitutes the entire public rail network of Kuala Lumpur. The network comprises 60 stations with 72 kilometers of route among the three lines. The two LRT lines operate on standard gauge rail, while the KL Monorail operates on an ALWEG straddle beam. Train services operate from 6:00 am and typically end before midnight daily, with frequencies varying from approximately 3 minutes during peak hours to 14 minutes during non-peak hours. The Ampang and Kelana Jaya lines were constructed and initially operated by different owners: Sistem Transit Aliran Ringan Sdn Bhd for the Ampang line starting in 1995, and Projek Usahasama Transit Ringan Automatik for the Kelana Jaya line starting in 1998. In 2004, operational aspects of the two LRT lines were transferred to Rapid Rail Sdn Bhd under the second phase of the restructuring process of Kuala Lumpur's public transportation network. The KL Monorail was initially owned and operated by KL Infrastructure Group from 2003 until 2007, until the company declared bankruptcy. As a result, Sarana purchased the monorail and gave operating rights to the subsidiary Rapid Rail Sdn Bhd. History: Malaysia's efforts to revolutionize commuting began in 1984 when the then Minister of Federal Territory Shafir Abdul Samad released details of a light rail transit implementation study for Kuala Lumpur. Many were skeptical over its implementation, especially when financing was a major question. The study, undertaken by a Belgian consortium in association with SP Bâtonnets of France in cooperation with Master Carriage Malaysia Sdn Bhd, was for an urban of suburban LRT system, powered by overhead electric lines at catenaries. The system, covering 18 stations between Petaling Jaya and Sentul, was targeted for implementation in 1984 and completion in 1988. Unfortunately, the project did not take off. But the idea for electric commuting did not die there. It probably gave birth to two systems of electric rail commuting: the Metropolitan Commuter LRT train service by Sistem Transit Aliran Ringan Sdn Bhd and the double-tracking commuter train system called KTM Komuter. The KTM Komuter, which began commercial operations in August 1995, is probably the closest system to the one proposed by the Belgian consortium, as it uses overhead catenaries. Fares and ticketing. Rapid Rail implements an automatic fare collection system with stored value tickets and single-journey tickets issued in the form of magnetic stripe cards at every station. Tickets can be purchased either from ticket vending machines or at station counters found at all LRT stations. Turnstiles are located at the entrances to train platforms. Rail fares range from room 0.70 to room 2.80 depending on the distance traveled by commuters along the network. Table with fares from 0.70 to 5.10. Touch and Go stored value cards are also accepted at fare gates on the Rapid Rail network as well as the Rapid Bus network, the KL Monorail route and the KTM Komuter system to improve integration. Touch and Go cards are available at all LRT stations for a room 10 deposit. The Touch and Go system is also used in the production of Rapid's monthly passes, called Rapid Pass. These passes can be purchased by frequent users of the Rapid Rail and Bus networks, which entitles them to unlimited rides for 30 days on all Rapid buses and LRT stations. LRT Rapid Pass are valid only on the LRT network and they cost room 100 each, while integrated Rapid Pass, which are valid on both the LRT and bus networks, cost room 150 each. Rapid Pass Pelaya is a variant of the conventional Rapid Pass that can be purchased by students for a 50% discount. Concessionary fares are available to people with disabilities such as physical handicaps, learning disorders, blindness, deafness or cerebral palsy, provided that they are registered with the Department of Social Welfare. The concessionary fares range from room 0.30 to room 1.40. On the 14th of June 2011, Prasanna announced that a new ticketing system will be introduced in July with full integration made by the 30th of November 2011. The new ticketing system will finally combine all rail systems in Klang Valley under one roof with the exception of KTM Komuter. The new system will feature a chip coin system for single journeys and a new contactless smart card system for monthly passes in addition to traditional Touch and Go card. The new system was developed at a cost of room 115.2 million. Infrastructure. The Ampang Line consists of two sublines, one a north-south line and one heading eastward. The Chansolin-Tri Petaling route serves the southern part of Kuala Lumpur. The Chansolin-Ampang route primarily serves the suburb of Ampang in Selangor and the town of Pudu in Kuala Lumpur, both of which are located in the northeastern region of the Klang Valley. Both lines converge at Chansolin. The merged line leads north, terminating at Central Timor LRT station. The Kelana Jaya line consists of a single line that connects Petaling Jaya in the west to Gombak in the northeast, passing through the city centre and various low-density residential areas further north in Kuala Lumpur. The line has a total of 870 individual bridges, the longest of which has a 68 meters span. The Ampang Line and the Kelana Jaya line intersect at Masjid Jamak and Putra Heights stations. Since the Kelana Jaya and Ampang lines were intended to be operated by different owners during the planning and construction phase, both lines have unique and distinct station designs. Except for 5 underground stops between Pasaseni and Ampang Park on the Kelana Jaya line, the entirety of the LRT is elevated or at grade. The Ampang line consists of elevated and at grade stations, while the Kelana Jaya line comprises underground and elevated stations, in addition to one unused at grade station. All trains are air-conditioned. The Kelana Jaya line runs in a northeast-southwesterly direction, consisting primarily of elevated stops and a handful of underground and at-grade stations. Of a total of 24 stations, 16 are elevated, and 5 stops are underground. The only at-grade station, Sri Rampai, the service depot, is located in Sabang. The stations, like those of the Ampang Line, are styled in several types of architectural designs. Elevated stations, in most parts, were constructed in 4 major styles with distinctive roof designs for specific portions of the line. The KL Central Station, added later, features a design more consistent with the Stesen Central Station building. Underground stations, however, tend to feature unique concourse layout and vestibules, and feature floor-to-ceiling platform screen doors to prevent platform-to-track intrusions. 13 stations utilize a single island platform, while 11 others utilize 2 side platforms. Stations with island platforms allow easy interchange between northbound and southbound trains without requiring one to walk down, up to the concourse level. On the Ampang Line, the system includes a total of 25 stations, 11 along the Chansolin Central Timur Line, and 7 along the Ampang LRT Station Chansolin Line and the Sri Petaling Chansolin Line each. The service depot and primary train depot from the system is situated before the Ampang Terminal Station and the end of the Ampang-bound line. A secondary train depot is located after the Sri Petaling Station. The line between the Plaza Rakyat Station to the Central Timur Station is strictly elevated, with the line between the Bandara Station to the Tituangsa Station running along the Gombak River. The Chansolin Ampang Line is primarily surface level, while the Chansolin Plaza Rakyat Line and the Sri Petaling Chansolin Line use a combination of surface-leveled and elevated tracks. There are no subway lines in the system. Current network rolling stock. The rolling stock of the Kelana Jaya line, in use since the opening of the line in 1998, consists of a fleet of 35 Mark II Bombardier Advanced Rapid Transit trains with related equipment and services supplied by the Bombardier Group. The ART trains consist of 2 electric multiple units, which serve as either a driving car or a trailer car depending on its direction of travel. The trains utilize linear motors and draw power from a third rail located at the side of the steel rails. The plating in between the running rails is used for accelerating and decelerating the train. The reaction plate is semi-magnetized, which pulls the train along as well as helps it to slow down. The ART is essentially driverless, automated to travel along lines and stop at designated stations for a limited amount of time. Nevertheless, manual override control panels are provided at each end of the trains for use in an event of an emergency. Since October 2006, the operator has ordered 35 new 4-car train sets to be delivered starting from 2008. Due to some delays from the manufacturer, the delivery was delayed to November 2008. After extensive series of testing, the first batch of trains began operation on December 30, 2009. The rolling stock of the Ampang lines consists of a fleet of 90 standard-gauge light rail vehicles manufactured in Australia by Walkers Limited. The trains consist of electric multiple units, which draw power from the underside of a third rail installed along a side of the line. All cars in each train are fitted with both current collector and motors. The trains are manned, with driver cabs occupying the tips of the trains. The trains come in 2 train set configurations. The first and most common variation is the 6-car train set, which consists of 3 sets of 2 emus and utilizes the maximum platform length of the line's stations. Each 2 emu sets at the front and rear consist of 1 driving and 1 non-driving motor car, while the 2 emus between are non-driving motors. There are no gangway connections between the 2 car sets. The second variation is a 4-car train set, a more obscure configuration that consists of only 2 emu sets of 1 driving car and 1 non-driving motor at each end, thus with 2/3 the capacity of the more common 6-car set. The 2+2 train sets were once used in full in the service until the massive deployment of 2+2+2 train sets. Each car has 3 bogies, 2 powered end bogies and 1 trailing bogie under the central articulation. The end cars, numbered 1101 to 1260, have driver cabs. The middle car, numbered 2201 to 2230, have concealed driver control panels to enable the car to be moved around the depot independently. Future service. MRT Sungai Buloh Kajang Line. The line is an under-construction light metro line for Kuala Lumpur. The MRT Line 1 will use Siemens Inspiro rolling stock. The rolling stock will be driveless and comes in 4-car train sets, which extra 10% length of Ampang Line 6-car train sets. Expected capacity per train sets is at 1,200 persons. LRT Extension Project. On 29 August 2006, Malaysian Deputy Prime Minister Mohd Najib Abdul Razak announced that the western end of the Kelana Jaya line would be extended to the suburbs of Sabang Jaya, which includes Bandar Sunway, Jaya and Putra Heights, which are located to the southwest of Kuala Lumpur. The extension will be part of Rm10 billion plan to expand Kuala Lumpur's public transport network. The expansion plan will also see the Ampang Line extended to the suburbs of Puchong and the southwest of Kuala Lumpur. Initially, the plan involved the construction of an entirely new line, tentatively called the Kota Damansara Cheris Line, which later changed to Mass Rapid Transit Line rather than the original planning. Running from Kota Damansara in the western portion of the city to Cheris, which lies to the southeast of Kuala Lumpur. According to news reports, tenders of the line extension is expected to be out in Q1 2009. It is expected large local constructions players will take in track and civil works, fare collection and systems works involving power supply, signaling and communication worth around 1 billion. Extensions will involve the construction of 24 new stations and 32 kilometers of new tracks. It is expected that 35 new trains for the Kelana Jaya line and 20 for the Ampang line will be added to the rolling stock. Soil testing has been cited in Sabang Jaya in mid-February 2009, although the project has not been given a final approval yet from the government. On April 2009, it was learned that the design contracts has been awarded to HSS Integrated and Minconsult. Meanwhile, project management has been awarded to Opus, who are a subsidiary of United Engineers Group. The extension is expected to cost around 3 billion Malaysian ringgit for each line. Asset owner of the project, Syarikat Prasarana Negara Bhd, has invited locally incorporated companies to submit the expression of interest to participate in the extension and upgrading of the KL Light Rail Transit System project on May 2009. This is considered as a pre-qualification bidding process. The EO1, which has no ending date, covers 2 major jobs, which are civil construction works and mechanical electrical works. The jobs is expected to be Rm7 billion, in which Rm1 billion will be set aside to purchase new rolling stocks from Bombardier. On the 25th of July 2009, Rapid Rail, the operator of the lines, has conducted a town hall meeting with Sabang Jaya residents concerning the extension of the Kelana Jaya line towards the neighborhood. Although the proposed alignment shown is still under proposal phase, it is believed that the line will continue from the current terminus at Kelana Jaya towards Lembah Sabang Depot and go through Sabang Jaya Komuter Station, Jalan Jengka, passing by Shah Alam Expressway towards the Summit USJ Mall and go through USJ 8. USJ-19 and USJ-21 before heading towards Putra Heights for the new terminus. The operator said there will be 3 park and ride facilities in Sabang Jaya and hopes the extension will complete by 2013. Syarikat Prasarana Negara Berhad has formally announced its plans to extend the 2 lines and begins the public display of the plan for 3 months, beginning September 15, 2009. The public display aims to gather public input as well, showing where all the lines and stations will be constructed. On June 2010, Prasarana announced that it had obtained approval to build the extension, although the extension had to be built in 2 phases as certain parts of the extensions have yet to obtain approval. The stations that are in the first approved phases are 9.2 km track from Kelana Jaya LRT station to USJ near Shah Alam Expressway for the Kelana Jaya line and 7.4 km track from Sri Petaling LRT station to Bandar Kenrara 3. Prasarana also announced that preliminary work involving relocating utility lines is expected to begin in mid-July, while the actual construction of the lines will commence by end of 2010 after the tendering process. On November 2010, Prasarana announced that it has awarded Rs 1.7 billion for first phase of the project. The winners include Trans Resource Corp Bhd for the Kelana Jaya line extension portion and Bina Puri Holdings Bhd and Tim Sekata for the Ampang Line extension. UEM Builders Bhd and Intria Bina Sdn Bhd were appointed as subcontractors for the fabrication and supply of segmental box girder jobs for the Kelana Jaya line, while Bina Puri and Tim Sekata will do it for the Ampang Line. On December 2010, local authority Majlis Perbandaran Sabang Jaya approved and confirmed the location of 7 LRT stations in Sabang Jaya. They are at Sabang Jaya City Centre, SS15, Jalan Jengka, The Summit, USJ7, USJ19 and USJ21. All the stations aforementioned are of Kelana Jaya line. 2 stations along the Bukit Jalil Puchong Highway also have been approved by the local authority. On June 2010, Prasarana announced that CMC Engineering Cola's Rail Uniway joint venture won the contract to build the Kelana Jaya line extension. The contract is worth Rs 673.9 million. The joint venture company is the only company to fulfill all tender conditions, beating out the others. On July 2011, Prasarana announced that MRCB and Sunway won tenders for Package B for the Ampang Line and Kelana Jaya line respectively. The tender is valued at Rs 1.33 billion for the Ampang Line and Rs 569 million for the Kelana Jaya line. Package B consists of construction and completion of facilities works that include the fabrication and delivery of segmental box girders. Works is expected to start on August 2011 and complete 20 to 30 months later. The project was officially launched on the 5th of March 2012 with the first lift of the first segmental box girders in Sabang. The first phase of the line extension work, a 7.4 km 4-station phase from Seri Petaling to Bandar Kenrara, has opened in October 2015, while the full service on the remaining stations to Putra Heights is expected to commence in March 2016. The extension project is slated to double the ridership on the Ampang Line to more than 400,000 passengers per day. LRT Bandar Utama Klang Line Project Gallery.